People, it's over. This phone is going back to Samsung and it's super unfortunate because I'm having issues that make this completely useless. And don't get me wrong, I've been making reviews about this phone for a while. The Z Flip 4 has a very special place in my heart and it stays there rent-free. The small form factor with an outer display that's actually fully functional has been a major game changer. Like if you're having it out on your desk in a lecture hall, those like tiny little desks, you can still have it there giving you notifications that are fully functional so you can reply to texts and messages, know when Tesla's popping. At the same time, you have an entire tablet or PC on that tiny table. It's a game changer. And don't even get me started on this display, okay? We've made it almost an entire year of usage and the display is still super crispy. There are now some issues with the screen protector. It's starting to wrinkle. The wrinkles and the air bubbles under the screen protector are causing a rainbowing effect that's especially noticeable on a white screen. But all of these things I've already mentioned in my last video, 6 months later update. Today, we're talking about why I'm sending this back to Samsung. We have one major problem and we have one minor problem. Let's start with the minor problem, shall we? The video has some serious audio issues, and I'm not talking about playback. Watching videos on YouTube and Instagram that's completely fine. There's no problem there. The audio is fantastic and the video quality is amazing. The issue, I'm actually gonna demonstrate a live demonstration in the studio. Here we go. Let me show you what the issue is. Okay, so I have my camera app open. I'm gonna go ahead and go to video and it's on selfie mode and I'm taking a video. You can see from the top down camera, there's a video going on and I'm taking a video, okay? I'm gonna show you guys this in just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and now turn the video off so recording closes. I'm gonna go ahead and play this back for you. You can see from the top down camera, there's a video going on and I'm taking a video, okay? I'm gonna show you guys this in just a second. I'm gonna go ahead and now turn the video off so recording. I know I wasn't speaking into a tin can. That is probably the absolute worst audio quality I have seen, and it's gotten worse since the phone came to me. The audio quality was not this bad, and it's whether I use the camera app or I upload on Instagram, there's this tin audio for some reason that it doesn't matter how I use the camera, it still shows up. Now I'm doing one more test, and this is just, we're gonna be quiet. We're gonna be quiet and let this do its thing. There. Let's hear that real quick. This is just, we're gonna be quiet. We're gonna be quiet and let this do its thing. It's almost like there's something that's moving inside of the phone. Something that's moving in the speaker or something like that. That even if I just shake the phone, it just rattles. There's something that just rattles and it's being picked up like crazy in the audio, and my sound sounds like some sort of like tin can. Again, I sound like a Cookie Monster in a damn trash can. So yeah, that's the first problem. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is sponsored by Mint Mobile. I own a lot of different devices, the iPhones, the Androids, and when it comes to paying for data plans, including all of my family's data plans, it ends up costing a small fortune. So one way I'm saving money is by switching all of them over to Mint Mobile. You may already know Mint Mobile if you've seen one of those funny ads by Ryan Reynolds.
Hey there, it's Ryan Reynolds, owner of Mint Mobile. Enticing, right?
But let me tell you quickly how awesome their service is. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for as low as $15 a month, and you don't have to sacrifice any data, speed, or coverage. They're also built on the nation's largest 5G network. And they're able to keep their costs low because they sell to you directly. They cut out all the retail stores and the salesmen. So why should you pay more than you have to for access to the same network? Mint Mobile for me across my devices has been flawless. I've literally noticed absolutely no change between my previous data plan and the new one with Mint. Biggest change though has been in my wallet because of the money I've been saving, so that's a big change. Thanks to their digital eSIM technology, you can sign up online and have your phone running in minutes. Plus, all Mint Mobile plans include unlimited nationwide talk and text, plus lightning fast 5G and free mobile hotspot. Literally the 3 services I use the most. Mint also offers a modern family plan that lets you set up a super affordable family plan with as little as 2 lines. Use my link in the description below to get premium wireless starting at just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/chilledfossil. And I will say that's a noticeably decrease, okay? Like the audio quality has gotten significantly worse since I first bought the phone. It was not like that when I was first recording my Instagram stories or taking videos of things. I would be outside, I was taking the photos, no problems at all. The audio was crispy and great. So this is really a bad example of I don't know what has happened. But that's not even so bad. Like, I'll admit it's really annoying to take a video and have garbage sound pre-production, but the bigger issue is the internet connection and the network connection. Basically, the internet seems to go out every minute or every 2 minutes. It'll randomly say the internet connection is limited with the little exclamation mark next to the Wi-Fi symbol, and I need to deactivate the Wi-Fi and reactivate the Wi-Fi again to get it to connect. And it'll only stay connected for another minute or so, and then it'll deconnect again or disconnect. It cannot stay connected to the Wi-Fi for more than like a minute at a max. I'll be scrolling Twitter feeds, going through the booty, and suddenly it doesn't load anymore. Basically because the Wi-Fi is limited. Same thing with Instagram. I'm scrolling Instagram, all of a sudden no more refresh, simply because it just keeps cutting out. And the same thing happens with YouTube. Imagine you're sitting there watching a YouTube video and 2 minutes later the internet's gone and you need to stop. You need to scroll down, deactivate the Wi-Fi, reactivate the Wi-Fi, and it comes back. There is something wrong with the Wi-Fi connectivity on this device. And this has been going on and off for the past 5 days. And since then, I've been switching over to my backup phone. So I've been on that. I've been okay, guys, relax. I'm not gonna die. But until my new phone arrives, which guess what that's going to be? Hint, it's the S23 Ultra coming very soon, so make sure to be subscribed. Now, my older Z Flip 3, I had no such software or network issues at all, and for the large part, for the whole year, this has been pretty much flawless as well. Now, I'm not sure if these 2 issues with the terrible audio and unstable connection are related or not, but in all honesty, if this means I've got to send the phone somewhere and sit around waiting for something to happen, it's really annoying. Last year on the Flip 3, major issues that I had were generally regarding the hinge. Last year, the hinge primarily, there was a lot of scrunching sound, almost like a month in, and it seemed like there were a ton of dust or particles that were getting stuck in the device. This year, I mean, physically, Samsung has like, this is even tighter and even more controlled than the hinge last year, and that's insane. And the hinge also, no scrunching, no, it's as smooth as day one. Like, there's no noises, there's no dust particles that are getting in here and crunching up behind the hinge. It's been clean. So Samsung has worked on those physical aspects. We made a note of this in the previous reviews. And honestly, this year I've also seen an enhancement in the body of the device. Last year there was a lot of matte black and a matte black bezel, which did end up getting scratched up. This year they switched over to the gloss, as most of you will know, and the gloss has held up better than the matte did in terms of getting old. Like, the matte ended up picking up fingerprints and some of them would become kind of permanent, like in the matte casing. But this gloss has remained almost absolutely pristine. It might as well be completely pristine. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, you do see this ring of dust around my screen, but that's because of the screen protector. So there's a ring of dust there. But all in all, the body of this device is noticeably more solid and much more refined than last year's version. And that's also the weird part, because there was no drop damage. This wasn't dropped, this wasn't thrown around, this wasn't crushed, nothing like that. For some reason, somehow, internet, forget it. It's just like doing this whole Wi-Fi weird thing. And like I said, I've had other phones, I've had other devices on this Wi-Fi, no problem with any of them. And also this audio thing, again, no water has gone into this device as far as I know at all. There's been no damage, no drops. I mean, it's in pristine condition, so I don't know why the audio reproduction is that garbage. And that is why I'm hoping to trade this in for the S23 Ultra. The Ultra is launching in a couple of days. I've got my reservation in. That gives me $50 off. So if you're interested, make sure you go to Samsung's website and get your reservation in. Get the money. I'm also keenly keeping an eye out for the trade-in value I get for the Z Flip 4. And this too is something you want to think about. Last year, the Z Flip 3, this is not the Z Flip 3, but the 3 trade-in value was $900. When I bought the Flip 3, I paid almost $1,000 for it because I had a Target discount for $200 if I also bought the Galaxy Watch 4, which I did. So that was an amazing deal. With the Z Flip 4, I didn't get that deal, but it was still about $1,100 when I bought it, and I showed you guys the entire process. Plus, I got like $70 or $100 in Samsung credits, which I spent on a few goodies. However, we don't know if this year we're gonna get $900 again for a Z Flip 3 trade-in. But what's important is, unlike other Android systems like, you know, the Google Pixel and OnePlus, which lose value drastically, and when you go to trade in at places like Google and OnePlus, you get next to nothing. Samsung doesn't do that. In Samsung's eyes, these things still hold value, and that's what makes it amazing, because you're able to play with these awesome, you know, new tech without taking the biggest leap ever, because you know you're kind of covered by that trade-in value. Now, again, if I get $900 again for this is going back, straight back, and I'll pay like $100 extra or $200 extra and get a brand spanking new S23 Ultra. I mean, that's phenomenal. But there is no guarantee that Samsung is going to give us the same value again this year for the Z Flip 4, and that's going to be something that I'm keeping my eyes out on, and I'm gonna call them out for it if they don't give me the same trade-in value as last year. But either way, whether I get the value or not, this phone is going to be going back to Samsung. Now, as far as the Z Flip 4 is concerned, am I going to miss it? Absolutely. I adore this phone. I love it. I love everything about it. Okay, the flip, the outside screen, having my GIF there, the inside screen, the small form factor, the long and narrow display, which makes a lot of my things, productivity, reading, emails, so much easier, and just the oohs and the ahs you get. I absolutely enjoyed this device. And I've also got to say, because this I've said before, this display is one of my favorite displays on any device ever. I know it's not, you know, Gorilla Glass, and like it doesn't have that pristineness to it, but that's what's fun about it. It's fun. It's a little bit, you know, loose, so it's more playful, and it's still super vibrant, which is something I just absolutely love. And this is something that you won't get through me telling you. You actually have to go and use this display that folds, and it has that flexibility factor to be able to really enjoy what I'm talking about. So I've really enjoyed so much of this device, from the battery and everything I've talked about in my previous videos. So don't take it as though I'm bored of the device, which happens with other devices. It's happened with the Apple devices. It happened with the old S22 Ultra. I got bored of it. It happened with the old S22 Plus as well. So I do get bored of devices fairly quickly. You know, it's gotta be fresh, it's gotta be new, it's gotta be exciting, and this has stayed that way the entire time. It's still a ton of fun. Like, if you couldn't tell already, I really love this phone, but the software bugs that keep showing up as they have in the past and now have really hindered my experience. And so what's interesting is that most people have issues with the physical build, with the screen damage and stuff like that. I've had none of those issues, major at least. My issues are software primarily, I think. But these also don't seem to be like absolute major issues. You know, Wi-Fi going out, sure, I can try to get that fixed. I might be able to connect it to data forever and just keep it on data, and that's all. In other words, if Samsung was going to give me like $200 or $300 trade-in value for this device, I wouldn't even bother trading it in. It's not that bad. I will feel a little bit betrayed, but it's not that bad. I can still live with this device. But when Samsung's giving you $900 for the Z Flip 4, if they do like they did last year, then it's super worth it to get a phone that is in pristine condition by paying like $100 or $200 extra. Obviously, the S23 Ultra is leagues ahead when it comes to camera and screen and all of the little specs compared to the Z Flip. Obviously, the form factor is a lot bigger, but then again, for $200 $100 extra, you're getting a completely new device and you're trading in a device you've been using for almost an entire year. Now, as for the process of getting this fixed, if you had the Z Flip 4 and you didn't have the option of upgrading, you're kinda at the mercy of whatever warranty or care plan you took out when you purchased the phone, and sometimes that can really be nerve-wracking. This phone is prone to more issues than most other phones, but the big idea is that most of those issues are a result of trade-offs. You get one new piece of tech, but one other piece of tech is compromised. Like, you get a folding display, but that means the Gorilla Glass toughness, like on other phones, is no more. It's not Gorilla Glass, but it's still good enough, and it has been good enough for me when it comes to the display. I mean, the display, no shattering, no scratches, nothing. So while it has been really awesome running around with the Flip, I will be switching over to the S23 Ultra, and then in the summer when the Z Flip 5 comes out, you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna be back on the Z Flip 5 grind as usual. Finally, before sending this phone back, I want to share with you the best accessories I highly recommend getting for this phone, especially if you're considering buying it or if you have it already. Firstly, I've had this case on the entire time and it's been great. Now, I've shown you the body and all around the phone. It's in pristine condition. This case, it does expose the hinges, etc., but if you're generally careful with your devices, this will be more than enough for you. And it also doesn't have any of the sticky tape stuff, which I really like. I hate having the tape residue on the back of my phone that you gotta kind of scratch off, and sometimes it doesn't even go away. So the fact that this doesn't have any of that is something I enjoy. And I also want to make a note of the screen protector. This is in fact the original screen protector I've had on my device, so I have never changed my screen protector, in case some of you were wondering. I know people leave that in the comment section below. No, I've never changed my screen protector and I'm not planning to do that. When or if you buy this phone, you're gonna want to get the super fast charger and cable from Samsung, since they aren't in the box. And the battery wise though, it's quite good. Easily gets through the whole day with just enough to spare that I'm about 10% left at like 8 or 9 p.m. and usually I'm home by then, so I can put it back on charge. And generally, in about 30 minutes with the super fast charging, it's back to 100%. And guys, that's it. I'm packaging this up and we're gonna have to wait for what the trade-in value is going to be. Let's do the final flip close, ladies and gentlemen. Are we ready? It's so satisfying. Honestly, when this goes back and the S23 Ultra comes in, I'm gonna be excited for the S23 Ultra. I'm gonna be on it for the whole week. I'm gonna be enjoying it, but I'm gonna miss this so much until I get my hands on the Z Flip 5. And then I'm gonna be back in the grind. This is such an amazing, it grows on you and it keeps growing on you, and you end up loving this form factor. You'll end up just, you know, I usually with phones like this, I hate having them in my hand. They're large, clunky, sharp edges. I hate putting them in my pockets. They're large, clunky, sharp edges. But phones like this, I just love walking around with. You know, I have it in my hand. I don't mind putting this in my pocket. I have it in my hand. I can flip it out, check out what's happening, easily flip it open, do the calls, make the money, put it back in. Oh, I just flipped it close again. So we'll do it one more time for the old time's sake. Here we go. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.
快速お面行きが参ります。危ないですから黄色い線路内側までお下がりください。